Greetings, my name is Meticulous, back with another building session for my Wirt and Beatrice BrickHeadz. So, starting where we left off, I was working on the side bits of the hair, and I was thinking that perhaps, since we've been working on the head for a while, I may delve into the body and the torso to see where I can get along with that, just because, since we have been doing kind of the same thing over with the head, this might be some fresh new stuff going on here, because hopefully this isn't getting too repetitive and too like, okay, same thing over and over, because I want it to be digestible and stuff. So we'll probably go to the body for a little bit and pop back up to the head, because one thing I do want to check is I had an idea how to get this to work around with the hat, but it would involve raising it up a plate. So, and it's so tall already, I was like, I don't really know if I want to do that, but there are other pieces to be used for the hat, perhaps, because I was thinking maybe like a roof, I don't know what it would be called, kind of like a dome piece that used in some building sets. So I'm just gonna go through here in the dark red color. See, like this is what I was thinking of, but this might be too big. Let's see if we can find them in here. Probably be on the brick ground. Alright, so this is... Oops, don't want to do that. Oh boy, this is a much more proper shape, but this one's even bigger. So now if we're going to do that, we might as well top it off with one of these. Put another nose cone on. Oh man. And I thought the other hat was big. This one's just straight up enormous. What would it look like though on top? Why won't you let me? Oh, okay. So this is an interesting predicament. So even if I wanted to use this, I would have to go and do some stuff. So see, this is two halves. We got a hole in there. This isn't actually as difficult as I imagined. All we have to do is just hide that for a second. I can put a. Let's see, how long of a peg do I want? Because well, we don't need it terribly long. Let's just go with a 6 knot long peg. In fact, I'll go and do a couple other rigmarole bits. So I'll take one of these bricks. I'll put a tile on it here, just so there aren't any exposed studs. And go with another brick, one more. So we got 3 and a plate. Get this here. So put about that much. Let's stick it in there. Okay. Perfect. So get a couple more of these. I'm gonna have to make sure that it is actually level, so I should probably put a plate going across the width of it. That way, when it connects, in fact, let me just snap it on top here. Okay, I wonder, so how many, can we stick another brick up here? No. Well, then we're probably gonna need 2 plates and then that tile, and that should do the trick. So we'll get a couple of these placed here. Oops. Let's see. Too much still? Okay. Get rid of that. And that will work there. Alright. So, now we got our hat that we can actually attach onto the figure. Whoo-wee! This is, like I said, more proper shape compared to the actual character, but it's huge. It's just, I mean, look at this thing. That's not even, it's wider, it's taller. No. I'm sorry, I can't go with that. Any other pieces that perhaps could be useful? Let's see. No smaller-ish but big-ish pieces. Oh, dark gray trash can. That could come in handy. Probably not. Dishes, dragon parts, all sorts of good stuff. Another piece that could be useful would be these kind of wedge pieces that possibly could create an appropriate shape. So I do want to take 1 second to see what all might work. So if kind of going back to our ratios, instead of just attaching this brick with a stud on the side on the bottom, I'm going to put it one more up. That way, if you were to put 2 plates, now if you were to attach this onto the head, the hat would be flush with the rest of it. So, okay, the head's 4x4 technically. So I'm going to want a 6x6 radius. In order to get a more proper shape, instead of just using like 2 of these next to each other, a trick you can do is you can make kind of like the same shape and then put it around. So this way it gives it a bit of a, I don't know, it kind of gives it more of a rotation going on there. I'll show you a little more when I'll show you a bit more what I mean, and hopefully it'll make more sense. So if I want this going on here, then actually we could just use one of these pieces. That'll save us some stuff going on there. So just gotta do a little calculating. If I take this here, put this here. Okay, so that's approximately what we're gonna go with. Alright, so you can get a better idea of what I was doing here. So we have like the slope on this side and then just normal slopes. And then we have one over here, like the same design, and on the back and on the side. So it gives it kind of an overall roundish look to it. Another thing that I did, you could have, or I could have used one of these pieces and filled up this space here. But then that leaves these studs on the bottom. So if you take a 2x4 plate and a 2x3 plate and a 2x2 tile, finally a 2x4 curved slope piece, it creates the exact same slope going on there. So if you would put these next to each other, it's harder to see in Digital Designer, but the angles would be the same, except now you don't have the studs here, you got the tile. So that just removes some studs from the equation. So this technically could be used. I would have to figure out a way to kind of cap it off. I don't quite know the best way to do that, because it's not exactly like I can't just use a cone per se, because it the cone would be kind of too round and the rest of it's too squarish. So if I put this on here, so yeah, it doesn't look quite proper. Maybe what I could do is use the same principle, except with these new fancy slope bits. So if I put this here, like that, again, like kind of going the same principle, that could work. But it doesn't look like it's going to tip off properly, so I don't know if this method is really viable. So I might just leave the rest of it here so I don't have to rebuild it in the future should I want to use it, or do more testing with it, I should say. But so yeah, let me just set that off for, I don't know, right here. Alright, so I'll go testing or continuing the procedure, what do you call it, the build with this one here. So this is what I settled on, except it doesn't have the little side hair bits that this one over here has. But you know, the head actually has studs on the top, so it can attach the hat and the rest of the hair. So let us go get a reference shot of Wirt here. So you know, nothing completely spectacular, just got to figure out exactly how to proportion where it splits and then where its arms are. So I had an idea originally, and it would involve overly complicated design, but in order to get the buttons, because I could use just a round 1x1 plate for the buttons and that would be fine, but I thought if I used a yellow bar inside of a 1x1 plate, that way it would space them out and they wouldn't be quite next to each other. However, what I didn't realize is that apparently it would have to be on gray, and these plates don't come in dark gray, if I remember correctly. Let me see. No, they do not come in dark gray. Light gray, but unfortunately, pretty sure I'd be using a dark gray for the jacket there. So, well, that method is out. I'm curious though where they're using dark green. Oh, I forget, these new Unikitty figures get them in all sorts of colors, and those the tiles with the 1x1 bar on it. These come in so many colors now because of those Unikitty sets, so it's not a bad thing. It's always cool getting pieces in bizarre and strange colors. I guess this method is out, which is like not too big of a deal. I might not even have been able to implement it anyway. Looking at this now, I got the idea, because now I can easily add 2 buttons on. Adding 3 buttons is going to be a bit of a tricky business there. But I'm thinking what might work is if I take a couple of these in white. It's nice now they actually come in black and white. I'm really glad, because that was a bit they came in like reddish brown and red before. I'm like, okay, alright, and then they're like magenta. I'm like, why magenta? I don't know why they come out with some of those pieces, and like, because it was in the Captain Phasma BrickHeadz, so I'm like, why would you put it in there? It's like, first, no one's gonna see it, and I don't know, Lego's just kind of goofy at times. So this, if we apply these, it gives that the illusion that the coat is, or the jacket. I don't really know how to properly depict it, or reference it, I should say, but anyway, I'll just call it like kind of a cloak. I guess that's the best term for it. It makes the cloak look like it's open. See? That kind of gives the same effect. Now, if we're going with this route, then I would suggest that the upper arms are covered as well, only revealing the lower arms. This actually sounds kind of interesting. So if we do this, and then put the bottom part white here, this will look like the lower bit of the arm. And now what I'm seeing initially here is that I'm going to have to actually remove these, unfortunately, and we're just going to have to use these ones, but then I can make this one dark gray, and the underside I can put white plates here. I don't know how well that's actually meshing up here, because you see it kind of dips a little bit. Come to think of it, actually, no, the whole thing has to be dark gray, of course. So, because it's supposed to be the cloak there. So, we got copy that. So this is what it kind of looks like. Now this is sticking out a little bit up there. Yeah, it's not really a big deal, but that's something I like. Again, I probably wouldn't mind it so much. It would look a little better if, let's see, I want to see, because something about with the BrickHeadz is the neckline. So this cloak comes right up to his neck. So usually if this was a not normal, someone with a collar that didn't come up so high, I would color the center 2 plates here, or 2 studs I should say, tan. So it kind of looks like the neck, but his cloak is so high up that this whole area is going to be gray. So perhaps what I can do to prevent this kind of sticking out there and looking a little strange is I can just, let me see, what is this? Okay, that's got a stud on it, so I can actually get rid of this, put these up 1 more plate, and then that way I can raise up those front bits and maybe get a little better look. We'll see how what happens. So just put those back, and now I have to turn these into 1x1 plates since I took out the 1x2s. 1 there, 1 there. Nice. Put this back here. Okay, see, so that comes right up to his neck. Again, it is kind of far out, but nothing terribly terrible. So, oops. Windows being Windows. Okay. The interior of that cloak is red. Now that's going to be a bit of an interesting business. So, do I have a side shot? No, that doesn't qualify. Let's see. Okay, so now here it's not split open. it's kind of more like this than like this. So theoretically, I could do the same thing. I kind of like how it's split open here. I'm wondering how it would look if we utilized these small bits here. It's a bit of a smaller gap going on. Theoretically, what I could do is I could also attach the buttons like this. Let's see, with just plain old yellow. Well, because it's a damper color palette, I wonder, this would be pretty cool actually, if I could use the bright light yellow. I wonder if they got these in plates or tile 1x1 round. See, plate round, tile round, what size? Okay, 2x2. Where did that come in? More Unikitty, yay! Okay, so unfortunately, no, just plain. Then these pieces have looked like they could be useful, but they're not in Digital Designer yet, so I haven't really gotten a good look at them and stuff. But, for instance, well, what would it look like anyway if I did use that bright light yellow? Or cool yellow, as they call it. Maybe it is a little too pastel. Now, see, right there, they're just all over the place. I don't know how I would like that. Again, I know this is supposed to be kind of, not exaggerated, but it's not supposed to be a replica. I know that, but they just look a little big, and I'm not too terribly crazy about that. But there's no better way, really, there's no other way to make the lights like that, or the buttons, I should say. So that might be something I can hold off of. The cool yellow or bright light yellow does look alright. Probably better than if it was just shocking yellow. Let's just compare it for the sake of it. Okay, yeah, the cool yellow does look much better, but again, this is such a rare color palette, which unfortunately I find... Oh wait, am I in bright light orange? I'm in bright light orange. Okay, time out there. I want bright light yellow. Okay, this is better. Well, maybe not. Bright light orange is better first in pieces than bright light yellow. Okay, actually, if I just type in round, that will funnel it down even better. Okay. So, unfortunately, no, 2x2 smallest. We do have these corner pieces. I don't know if I want to know what that is, but I am curious. What are you? Are you? Oh, another Unikitty set, I bet. Of course. Alright. So, I don't know if I can utilize, because again, the shape's just off, but like if I could use the corner ones, maybe? Maybe not. I don't really think so. Yeah, that's just all levels of strange. Okay. That's a bit of a bummer. I suppose if I went with the bar technique, sticking them through there, yellow would have been alright, because since there was a small diameter, it wouldn't have been so bold and so shocking. I am really tempted, because I feel like that would be a much better option, but there's really no way to implement it, because something, I would have probably gone something like this. So if this is a coat here, this is like, these two light bricks are where these two studs would be, so then you could just stick the bar in it, like so, and because you need the space back here to stick bar, because not many bar type pieces actually come in yellow. Now wait a second, I could completely and utterly cheat the system here. I remember there was a CubeDude that a guy had built, a V from V for Vendetta, and he had this guy had built him as a CubeDude. If you don't know what a CubeDude is, it was like the precursor to BrickHeadz that I can't remember, Angus MacLane, I believe he designed them. And so I was like, oh, that was really cool. So I built my own V CubeDude, but I modified mine slightly. I added a couple more knives because he had mentioned in the guy who made it, he was like, oh, I would have added more knives, but I didn't have any, so I was like, well, I'll do that. Another thing I did is, and I'd seen this technique in a BrickLink mock for a car, and they use this for a shift stick. Now, unless I pop up pictures here, which I probably should, you're not going to have a clue what I'm talking about. But what they had done is they took a minifig hand and What's that? Okay, never mind. They took a minifig hand, and I won't, because unfortunately in Digital Designer you can't take these things apart. But so if actually, let's see the best way I can describe this. So I'm sure you know that how the minifig hand works. So you can see it here. You got the hand, you got the bar in here. What you can do is you can take the hand out of the arm and put it into the light brick. So like the tension from the hand kind of squeezes into here and it keeps it inside, and a little bit of the hand sticks out, or the wrist, the lower arm from the hand sticks out of the light brick, and therefore adding a little bit of color into it. So I use this on my CubeDude to add the pink cheeks that he has on the mask, and it actually worked out pretty decently, I must say. So if I use that same technique here, I can't do it in Digital Designer, but I can just put the light bricks into place, and that could possibly work. I'm even curious, do the hands come in bright light yellow? No. Okay, but I could obviously just use yellow. But so that is a possibility. The only quote-unquote catch, first of all, I still can't add all 3 buttons. Second of all, because I have to use the light bricks because you need the hole in the back, I can't mount them as neatly as if, say, I use this brick here. It'll be that 1 plate taller, and there'll be that like little extra gap between them. So I don't know if that would defeat the look a little bit. It's definitely something to consider, but I don't know, because it's technically it's no worse off than if I use this technique, because the bars are still sticking out the back. I would still have to use light bricks stacked on top of each other, and but with this method, I would not have to have all this backlash going on here. I could just stick the hand in it, and it would be done and done. So we have that option. Other than that, nothing's really coming to mind how to make little itty bitty small buttons. I could look through the yellow parts, perhaps. Maybe get an idea, find something that could be useful. Maybe there's even and I don't really do this a lot, but perhaps there's, and I don't even know where I could start looking, like, probably, if there was a printed dark gray brick with a pattern similar to the buttons on there, that, I could just use that. Usually I steer away from patterned bricks, again, because they're so specific that normally, we call it, like, you know, they just don't fit the needs. But if I go under dark bluish gray and look at bricks decorated, and if I go tiles decorated, let's see, tiles decorated, perhaps there's, because I don't know, you never know, there's a bunch of weird stuff that but apparently nothing here that would do what I need. What? So yeah, a bit of a just kind of brainstorming at the moment. The tiles would be a little more probable than the bricks per se. So let's just see what we got here. That's interesting. Okay, now you said 1x4 tiles. 2x2. Okay, this could be useful. If the page is gonna load. And now 2x4, and that's that. Now, perhaps in just dark gray, there might be a patterned brick or something. Let's see, bricks decorated, tile decorated. No, nothing here. Tiles decorated, again, nothing here. Hello. So yeah, that was just something to go with. Let me see. Because if I do go with this, I won't be able to have the split cloak, which is kind of, it's a cool effect, I think. I kind of like it. Yeah, so there's many different ways to go at this. Probably what I should do is go with something the slightly simpler of the the design and go with the back of the cloak and try that. What I think I'll do for the sake of sanity is I'm just going to go with what Lego does for their cloaks, because it's pretty much the same thing, just going around. It's a bit tighter than, let's say, like a cape, so I might not have to, well, I think, then again, you can only do so much with, wait, where did I copy this? Oh, never mind, I know what's going on. But yeah, you can only do so much, and again, I don't know, I'll just have to test stuff to see what's going on, so I'll just do that, stick this back here, stick this back here. Well, let me see if I can remember this correctly, because they're not too terribly complicated. I think you just take one of these, and, like, a plate and a tile, and that does it for the side. So this would be dark gray, and I probably won't be able to end up using this because I'm going to want the red interior, and so that's just going to cause all sorts of kerfuffle and nonsense going on. But what can you do? So let's see. Get some of this here. I do remember they use these somewhere. I should probably give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna just check out the Darth Vader instructions and see that I remember, if I remember building it as it shows. While we're here, I was really surprised by a technique that they use in here. So it's a little difficult to see, but you'll notice that this set of studs is a bracket, and this is a bracket, and then these two studs here are just, they're like straight off the brick. So these are a little farther out. Lego then puts a 1x3 plate over that. So two of the studs are connected, but they're not connected on this stud, which really surprised me that they would do a half plate technique like that. It's kind of cool, but again, like I said, it was just kind of surprising. Speaking of which, here we are at the cape. Okay, so they just use a couple of those corner plate things here. Wait a second, is it farther down? No, okay, yeah, here we are. Just pop these here like that. 2x4 tile, I take it. Yeah, and then these pieces off the side. Okay, so yeah, this would that's actually pretty decent. It doesn't come right off of the neck. It's got that extra I can't see anything. I should probably move him a little bit so we actually got some space here. So it's not coming right off the neck, which isn't really a big problem. Although it should be off the ground farther, like probably by a plate, or at the very least, yeah, maybe about a plate, or I could just pop it up this plate here. Actually, let me correct the terminology. I could move it off up the okay, let's try that again. I could bring it up one stud, so it would just end at this stud, or I could move it up one plate. I would probably opt to move it up, well, one plate, because then it's coming right off of the neck, but then it still might be a little long, but then I can't really take one stud off it, that might be too short. Again, yada 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 stuff you probably don't really need to know. However, again, I still need a little bit of the interior, because it's really difficult, because again, from the front you can't see inside the cloak. So only down here really matters. For instance, I could even just pop a little dark red here, and a little dark red there, and a little dark red there, and oops, whoa, no, I didn't want, did I paint that? Oh, okay, I see, so I'd want, oh, okay, you should do all sorts of weird stuff. Bear with me here. Alright, so if I did that, okay, in fact, I could even just do this. This one can be dark gray. Alright, okay, so, see, that, it's very, very, very subtle, but, that's really, like, the best, option here, because I can't get the cloak really around his arms, but I'm probably going to try it anyway, and in doing so, see, this is why I had the problem with my Huntress BrickHeadz, because her cloak is pretty much the same way. It's really just wrapped around her. It's not even like a proper cape. So but this one wraps around even more than, well, I could use the same principle with hers, but that one was freaky messy. It wasn't even funny. But oh man, options. This is where things get a little ridiculous. So this is the standard one I could do. Actually, if I wanted to use this, obviously that color bleed is going to have to go. So, but then I would have to figure out a way to attach all this stuff down here. One thing rolls into another, into another. Let's see. Okay, I'll just try to fix this up, and then we'll proceed and figure out where to go. Okay, I've concluded for the sake of sanity that I'm just going to leave it like this. I don't care that the parts are not connected. I'm just doing this for the sake of look. So, okay, this kind of would be the control, I guess you could say. So, we'll just kind of leave that there. Okay, so let me see. What would be my first pick? I would prefer not to go through all that hassle and rigmarole that I did with the Huntress's cloak, but to be honest, that is appropriate per se. So, I'll at least test it out. If I need to get rid of, well, actually, yeah, I'll get rid of all of this stuff. So, this method utilizes those new what do you call it, the small brackets that Digital Designer does not currently have. So you're just going to have to imagine them where they would be, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So I can't remember if these have to be tiles here. I'm pretty sure they do. So the principle of this technique is, okay, now wait a second, because I just remembered, I don't know if I have to go through all this, because I did end up changing the shoulder design, and because they were rounder before, but then I made them square. So if they're gonna be square, I could just use a stand, because I only made them that way because I needed more color detail. I don't need the color detail here. So okay, let me see. Oh man, I could go with, this would probably be a more saner approach. The Bell BrickHeadz version, or not version, or method, and that would just be using these curved pieces here. Okay, yeah, this is definitely the more sane option, because it doesn't take all the fancy rigmarole. Ooh, yeesh, why does it look so, even if one on the left offset, it just looks weird. Well, okay, now problem here, and that's because technically this should go all the way up, but now we got a gap and all sorts of mumbo jumbo. You think something so simple would actually be simple, but apparently I just have to make it so overly complex it's not even funny. I thought the red color is going to be difficult. Actually, just getting around his shoulders is going to be difficult. Okay, so if I want to, so is that a whole plate? That's a whole plate. Okay, good. So we're not totally goofed over yet. Yet is a key word here. So I can't just stick in one of those there. I need to build a vertically, studs facing up, because I need to utilize that plate there. Unfortunately, you can't get 4x4 half plates, because that could come in useful. And also, I got a tile here because of the ear. That's right, because the ear is sticking out farther. Maybe that's why it looks strange. I don't know. So many particularities, so much rigmarole going on. Alright. I better, so you don't hear me just complaining and mumbling, I'll brainstorm for a little bit and I'll get back with you. Sorry, we're gonna have to rip your face off. Okay, that looks alright. That looks decent. Just using some of these wedge pieces or right there. And I can attach the ears still if I just utilize those new brackets instead of doing this whole method. So that's fine. The ears are fine. Everything's intact. And we got still the general curvature, and it goes all the way up to the neck like I wanted. So that, yeah, that looks a bit better. Okay, that gives us something to work with. So then, next step would be to raise the cloak. Actually, first of all, I think I gotta fix the inside because I kind of gutted him when I was doing all that. So, this, that. Okay, see, problem here, I can't attach these pieces now. I'm not too concerned about that because I'm still in the process of even figuring out how I'm going to do that. So we'll just leave that there for now. I'm more concerned about actually raising the cloak here. So let's get rid of this, that, and the other thing. Pop a couple of these here and here. So if I were to go with this, problem number one is that I can't raise this, all this up, and this be here. So let's just take these. Gonna use the half ones and one on the other side. Oops. Nope. Come on. Tile back here. Tile back here. Okay, so then we still got the curve in the front. Next off. Okay, see, another problem. Small problem there, but I think we can fix that. Or I should say, at least remedy it in due time. So, instead of, okay, this, because we're going to have to start shuffling stuff, so these arms will be static, so we can just keep all the studs there. We don't have to straddle them or anything. Okay, so, oh, this could be messy, to say the least. So, the ratio, again, this is where stuff gets a little funny. So, currently, this is here. What I'm going to have to do is figure out... Ooh, wait, take everything apart here. Why don't you? Just get this, because we're going to need to mess with some space back here. So, we got that one, and this is the one we have to move, because unfortunately, it would be so useful if we had, what we call it, like this piece removed off the top when we were just left with two plates of the stud here. That would be very useful. Unfortunately, that does not exist, so we're going to have to go and create a lot of rigmarole just to emulate what we want going on here. In fact, we can probably still use one of these down here. But so if I'm going to raise this up one plate, okay, now that equals a brick and one plate. So all this stuff gets shuffled up. Nope. All this stuff gets shuffled up one, and I'll just copy it and do the same over here. Again, problem. You will notice that this dark gray plate here is now not attached to anything. Again, I'm not terribly worried about that because we're still testing stuff. Okay, problem number two. See, this is where stuff starts to really get finicky, because I can't just now put a 1x2 anything up here, because now this piece is in the way. So I would probably have to get rid of that. And then I have to take a tile here because they're going under ear. Things just start getting messy in a hurry, and that's not a good thing. So maybe I don't have to raise this up one, since this is going to be so tricky. Let me just go with the removing it one stud method. So we'll put this back here, get rid of these again. So if I just want to move everything up one, whoops, why did I keep hitting the window? Oh, well, I hit Control and Z to undo, and I keep hitting the Windows key. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. We're gonna move this up. We're gonna move this up. Gonna take that off, turn it into a 1x4. get that colored correctly. So this is gone. This is gone. Oh, whoops. Wait a second. I'm going to need a floater for a second because I need to put a piece there. Color this dark red. Alright, looking good. What do I got to work with underneath here? So, let's see. Okay, so I can't raise. This is going to have to just be a 1x2, and that's fine because that's all you're going to see under there. We just need a little splash of color because, again, this is under, what did I color? No, I want to color this piece. Nope, that one. Because, I mean, it's not like you're going to be, like, looking under it and seeing, oh, let's see, there's got some red in there, but, okay, so you're not even going to be able to see it now. Are you going to be able to see any of that? I mean, oh, man. See, his legs are so long, like, and his body's so short. Theoretically, I could leave the cloak the same size, and it would be, no one's going to even notice the difference because the proportions are way off. I mean, I could just leave it because, I mean, it looks fine and dandy like that, actually. I mean, it doesn't look so bad. I mean, raising up one now, it just looks kind of like this. It doesn't look like that long cloak anymore. Interesting, interesting. So perhaps I should just leave it as is, and no one will be the wiser. What's it called? Creative license? I can't remember. Okay, all the way back. Nope, I don't want to go all the way back. I just need to figure out what all I want to do here. Okay, so take this off, take this off, pop this over here. So if I wanted to do this and this, okay, perhaps let's go a little fancy, why don't we? Let's use one of these newfangled thingamabobs here, give a little more. Oh dear, that exposes a whole style. That exposes more than I thought it was going to. Okay, perhaps not. I'm just curious. I know it's going to show a whole lot of that empty space there, but you know, we could do something like that. I don't know if it's necessary. Something to consider, I suppose, at the very least. So it could look like that, or it could look like this. So see, we got that, or we got this. I don't know. It's probably not really necessary. Again, BrickHeadz aren't the most stylish, or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You know, that stuff when it comes to curves and shapes. So I wonder if I should just take this, turn it to 1x2, and just tile it off like that. Okay. It doesn't have. Oh wait, am I shrinking this again? Oh wait, I don't want it. Yeah, that is way too short. Okay, hang on. I gotta fix this. Undo. Okay, yeah. Stop right there. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, right here. Okay. This, I just gotta figure out this back area. So let's see. I think this is time for a fast forward skip, don't you? Okay, I'm really thinking I should move this whole structure unit up one stud. I think that it would benefit from that nicely. But it's going to be a little bit of a feat to do so. Alright. Let me take this stuff off. Kind of give us a control here. Okay. Good, good. So, I have to move all of this up one stud. Shouldn't be too difficult, I suppose. Connecting it is just going to be the problem. So, alright, alley up one. And I should probably, yeah, we'll stick with these on the sides. Okay, good, good. Now, I'll probably go back and just chisel this out, because I'm probably going to be needing more side studs. So, let's see, is that supposed to be, no, it's supposed to be, yeah, likely, okay. Just checking. all sorts of different gray colors. Okay, so I probably just want to go with single bricks because I don't want them to traverse too far down the back here, because again, I still need to leave room for the little splash of red color underneath on the inside of the cloak, like, you know, right here, to complete the look that the inside. I mean, that actually looks pretty slick there, you know, just a little bit splash of red. I think it'll work out nicely, should we be able to pull this off. Okay, now, if I'm lucky, the whole unit here can just snap back on, and I'm not lucky. That's because of, I don't know, probably this guy right here. Okay, try as take 2. Yes, success. Alright, so we don't need you. Well, I need a counterpart of you, just not you particularly. So, I'm a thinking, I can just call this guy dark red, because I can't pull another one. Okay, so yeah, this can just be painted dark red. That's fine. That's really fine. But it would be nice if the color went all the way through. And well. There are ways around it. I just need to know where I'm putting stuff. So let's see. So if this is what it would look like, but now it's looking kind of goofy because like it curves here, but then blocks here. I don't know the best way to get everything to, you know, align nice and pretty like. Preferably, well, if I took all this stuff away and if I popped one of these over here and we went back to how we had it a second ago. See, that's looking nice. I just have to fill up this space here. Is this just a legit 2 plates tall? No. See, that's bracket time, because that's half a plate. Okay. That shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, I pull it off with Alucard. I can pull it off with this. So, let me see. Oh, the ramblings of a mad, crazy person. Bet you didn't know what you were getting yourself into when you started this, huh? You know, what is it? Part 6 or 5? No, I want to say actually part 4. Okay, so yeah, see, this is gonna throw all kinds of monkey wrenches into it, just putting these here, because now I can't attach the studs on the sides. Okay, but this is attached, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm just going to go back to the... I should probably work on one arm at a time, because otherwise I'm just like duplicating stuff and then deleting the duplicated stuff. So we'll just work on this, the left side here, and I'm running out of time at the moment, so let's try to see if I can get something to work here. It'd be nice to leave on a nice, lively note or something. Okay, so... how do I want to proceed? Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. I could cheat a good deal here, and this should be interesting, actually. If I take the foot, or the leg, now, check out what I can do. I can attach it back here. Ooh, give me that. I want it. Okay, so I can attach this onto the foot. Wow. Oh, wow. Come on, digital designer. Don't do this to me. So, or is this, does it have to be? Okay, good. So I got a nice, even connection here. Now, I don't entirely know the benefit of that, but I'm sure I'll come up with something. So, if these are just, I'm just going to put them black here because I know that, so they're colored out, actually. Let's see. So I'd have to, this could be, these could both be 1x3 plates, and we could take care of that there. Now, actually, looking at this, this would technically be dark red if I want to, because again, I don't know. Oh, I'm like, I'll just connect the pieces at the moment. I don't know if I need to do that. Okay, let's hold off on that for a while. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to, what am I trying to do here? That is a good question. So I need, I need to eliminate these studs. Okay, I know what I need to do, because I need to add that bracket. That's right, the bracket. So, I need to get rid of this, that, and the other thing. And I need a bracket. Whoops, not that. one of these 1x4 ones. Oh, not that. Okay, tell me it'll fit here. Okay, perfect. Ooh, unforeseen problem. 4 studs. I forgot I need it out. Like, okay, now that's out too far. Oh man, I might have just put myself into a pickle. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Okay, what I would have to do is move these pieces out half a stud, but then that's just gonna make the cloak a little bigger, I suppose. That's not a problem. And you know, I mean, I'm really looking at this thing. Dark blue. Like if I just changed all the gray here to dark blue, but does that look right? I don't know. I don't know if that looks right. These blue colors. What I think would look more appropriate is violet, but only like 3 pieces come in the violet color, so I'm probably just gonna go with gray. Besides, gray has a bigger brick palette than dark blue, so and at this point, trying to actually just design the more pieces, I think would probably work out better. Okay. Oh man, it's gonna be ending on a cliffhanger. Because I don't know if I can really... Because I need a half... Okay, what about using a light brick? I can use a light brick, and that can... If I go and shuffle stuff, that might just save the day. There will be an exposed stud, but it won't be this... Oh no, terrible thing. So, okay, the plate was here. That will be my control. So I want the light brick to be studded out here. Now, okay, I'm seeing a quick problem, and that is that it needs to be both dark red and dark gray at the same time. Because since you're going to be seeing the stud, it has to be dark gray, but on the inside it has to be dark red. That's not going to end well. But let us just try and put a composite together. Okay, so we got that plate here, that tile here, that fills up the space. So actually, if I just did this and I did that, boom, bang, problem solved. In fact, I could probably even go one step fancier, put one of these little curved tiles here, and check that out. That's actually kind of slick. Look at that. That's not so bad, if I dare say. But the rest of the cape is in shambles, so I really can't say anything until I get this dumb thing together. Okay, so here it is on. Hooey, that's got some weird, strange curvature there. And of course, I need this to be dark red. So this whole thing won't work in its current state. Yeah, we're getting there, but it's not going to work properly. No, can't do that. The bracket was the only thing that could really save me, and I need 6 studs wide, and not even 6 studs wide. It was like, I don't know what it would be, what, 5.5 studs wide. So the light brick is the only thing that could do the trick, and it is going to be, it would have to be two-toned, because otherwise, you can see I would need that, but of course that's not going to work. Because the arm covers up this piece here, so I just need these 2. Okay, so wait a second. So it's 2 studs? No, wait, that's the brick on the side. No, wait, it is 2 studs. Well, wait, what's my problem here? If that's just 2 studs, why can't I just attach it in the interior of the model? Oh, wait, but I need the color. Oh, right. You're driving me crazy. Because I need the pieces sideways so I can get that little sliver of red. But vertical fills up the gap nicely. And I could then attach it to somewhere. Okay, wow, that's actually offset, off-kiltered. Oh, man. It's like so close but so far, and so stinkingly insignificant too. And this is what I spend all the time on trying to design these things. It's like, oh, half a plate of color or stuff. Makes me wonder, really, you gotta give them credit, the LEGO designers. I wonder how they designed the BrickHeadz. Because they're really precise, like, they're really particular. They're not just like, oh, okay, you know, it's just a plate difference. It's like, the tolerances are so tight, and you're working with such small spaces. I don't know how they can, like, I guess that's why they don't release a BrickHead every day, but still, if I tried to release a BrickHead on a regular basis, like one a week, one every other week, no, I'm sorry. But, oh well. Yeah. Oh man, it's like I want to complete the cloak, but I don't know how. Maybe I can just cheat and use. Do these come in? Okay, these come in the inverted. I don't need the inverted one. I need the normal one in dark gray. Come on. Because what I was thinking is, if, for instance, let's say this is here, this is okay. No, wait. Would that have even worked? Well, if I just test with one of these 1x2 ones. So if it was like this, and let's say it was just half the bracket. Oh, right, invisible pieces. Get these out of the way, clear some space. So if this was here, can I even attach it? No. That's too bad. For the fun of it, I can't attach this one either. No. Can I attach it that way? No. Oh, well, that wouldn't have mattered either. Oh, wait. No, the wrong one. No, that wouldn't have worked anyway. Oh, man. I should probably call it quits. I'm starting to get a little afraid, you know. You don't want to see that. That's not fun. Okay, where's the stable state of this model? I guess probably that. It works, but it doesn't work because the color difference. Oh well, you know, we got somewhere. We got feet wet, you know, trying to figure out what to do with this cloak. Something different than that hair. Okay, well, I'll call it quits here. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, all that. So yeah, until next time, goodbye.